Yo, what is going on, ladies and gentlemen? I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. If you want to watch me live stream every single day, every single morning session in New York, okay? I do not take time off. Then click the WAP link in the description below. There's a lifetime discount right now for $350. It's usually $700, and I'm only gonna have that on for like 2 or 3 more days. So make sure to join me before I take it off. And then if you want to join the monthly, that's fine too. I don't really care. And then the other thing is, if you want to start a futures account, which I strongly recommend, go to the Apex link in the description, type in code SAVE. I think it's save 80, save 71. If you look up on Twitter, you'll see it. But there's a discount code, 71% off right now. And cop a few accounts. Again, super worth it in my opinion. All right. So for today's video, disclaimer. Okay, Turtle Soup is not my main model. I'm going to kind of be going over how to predict reversals with SMTs and Turtle Soups very easily. Okay, and today was just a perfect example, so I thought today would be a really good time to make the video. And I posted this video on Twitter. Okay, I'm not gonna play it on my stream or anything. Okay, and by the way, make sure you are following me Twitter if you aren't already. But I posted a little thing of of some calls to my live stream this morning, which is a very good live stream. And you can see this. I just wanted to see if you would reply. But you can see I posted like a little thing earlier today about some calls I had. And the one thing I mentioned a lot this morning, I was like, I said, I bet you this is going to be a good soup, which basically means I bet you we're going to be able to short whenever we hit this high. All right, and here's the thing. This does not mean you have to turtle soup it. This just means, you know how people always say like react instead of predict? I mean, I say the same thing, but if you can predict and then react and your predictions are spot on, then you can react even better. Okay. The only time I react is if I really don't know the bias. But today, like, I figured we'd hit this buy side and we'd be able to soup it, okay? Basically meaning I figured we'd get a short once he hit it. Alright, and I'm going to explain how I knew that, okay? And it's going to be... it's not super complicated. It's not super simple either. Okay, you're gonna need to use NQ and ES for this. Okay, so when we look at the charts, okay, the highest probability trades that will present themselves will be SMTs or when these indexes are correlated. So in order to do this, you really have to look at both charts. And I'm just gonna go in the replay mode, and I'm gonna basically tell you my thoughts and what I think like when we get it open. Okay, so here's kind of 815. Then if we go on ES, here it's kind of 815 as well. So would we all agree that these are basically in the same spot right now? Yes, I would. All right, and I'm just going to kind of mark stuff that I had marked at the beginning of the day. So at the beginning of the day, what I have marked is this 4-hour fair value gap. Okay, I have this marked, and then if we go to the daily, I have this daily fair value gap on ES marked all day. Okay. So that's basically my markup of the day before anything happens. I'm like, okay, we're inside a fair value gap here. We're inside a 4-hour fair value gap here. And then I'll mark like the high or low inside the fair value gap. Okay, if you watched my video the other day, I talked about highs and lows inside a fair value gap. But this to me would be the high inside the fair value gap. It's a really good liquidity pool. So with that information, that doesn't really tell us anything. Okay, we need to play some candles here, okay, to tell us anything. So we play some candles, and we'll stop about here. Okay, we'll play some candles, and we'll stop about here. Alright, now, this is where it gives it away. This is where the market really gives away what it wants to do. Now, you might be thinking, well, Ryan, why is this so easy to figure out? Well, look at this fair value gap formed at 8:30 from CPI. Look at this fair value gap formed at 8:30 from CPI. When I look at the chart and we see open, and I see one of the index totally violated and the other not, and I see ES respecting all of its bearish PD arrays here, my immediate thought process is, okay, ES is very weak here, while NQ has these very clean highs. And what that tells me is this. If you zoom out on the 1 hour or 4 hour and you look at NQ here, if NQ does end up going over this 4 hour, what's in the way? All these fair value gaps. And if that's the case, do you really expect NQ to really what's the word I want? Quickly displace to all these fair value gaps that easily. No, it's probably not going to do that. So if we know that we have a bunch of quote unquote resistance overhead, all these fair value gaps, and we see ES's bearish order flow, meaning it's rejecting every single fair value gap it's creating. The moment I see NQ go into this land of, okay, rejection, right? These fair value gaps, I know ES is probably going to keep going down, and you have to think about it. If we see ES go up here, do you really think ES is going to just randomly go back up again? Probably not, because this order flow is so bearish that it's like, all right, ES is a 15-minute fair value gap. If ES came back all the way up here, that means NQ would go all the way back up here, which is very unlikely because there's so many fair value gaps overhead. So do you see my thought process there? It's like an unlikely chance ES goes all the way back up here because we have all these overhead, right? And it just doesn't make sense. So when we were kind of in this area, I figured that as soon as we hit these highs, I was like, okay, there's no way ES goes all the way back up here. I was like, there's no way. All right, I saw this very clean 15-minute fair value gap, this 15-minute order block, and I knew if ES went all the way back up here, that means NQ would have to go up there too, which doesn't make sense for NQ. Okay, and if it doesn't make sense for both the indexes, it's probably not likely. So when I see one index take out the high, the data highs or whatever, inside a fair value gap, and one just completely have the opposite bearish order flow, I know the one that takes out the high is probably going to be a good turtle soup just because of this reason. Just because of we don't expect ES to go all the way up here because ES or NQ has so much resistance overhead. So that's how I determine, okay, this is going to be turtle soup. Now, even if you aren't entering turtle soup as your entries, it's still important to understand that, okay, this will be a very, very high probability spot we will reverse. And this is where I go in the chart and I'll set an alert. Okay, I'll literally set an alert for a short. All right, and if you ended up taking this short, do not feel bad. This was a good short in my opinion. You can see it does end up failing. And this is a good loss to take. I don't know why it failed. This should have worked. I think it was just because of the timing. But if you play some more candles, okay, and look for another short, we tick out buy side again. Play some candles, play some candles, play some candles. And then there we kind of get like a 2022 model short, in my opinion. Right, this blue zone. And then there's your short, and now you target the lows. And you can see all while this time, this was during lunch, we were building up all this low resistance liquidity. So it was bound to break at some point. Alright, so I would say this was a valid short, which ended up failing, and this was a valid short, which ended up succeeding. And at the end of the day, if you followed the risk reward, you would have been profitable if you took both. Okay, because in this situation, you know to target all the way down here. Okay, versus this one, you probably would have had a kind of tight stop loss. Alright, so this is just one way you can really anticipate these reversals. You always, if the order flow is really opposite of which one's doing, wait till the stronger one or weaker one hits that lower high and then look for the reversal. Because if one index goes to hit a high that's really far away from the other index, chances are we'll hit the high and just reverse. Okay, and that's when I look for really obvious reversals, which we end up getting. Alright, and I did short this. I took a short on like this candle because I checked the chart a little bit late, and I ended up selling here, and then I held some till these equal lows. But again, that's just a really key. This is a really helpful video, hopefully for a lot of you, in when to look for these reversals. Some people don't know, like, see these reversals, but they don't know why. They don't know when to look for them, etc. And yeah, so again, hopefully this video helps you a little bit. Let me know if you have any questions. Again, called a lot of this in live time today. I literally said this would probably be a good soup. I said many other things. The other thing I did say was this would be a 100% win rate short if this 4-minute fair value gap was violated. Probably shouldn't have used the word 100% win rate there, but again, not financial advice. It's just something I've seen over so many times, and we violated this, and boom, there's the lows. Okay, worked perfectly, even though it took a while. So let me know if you guys have any questions. Again, only a couple more days with a lifetime discount. DM me if you're interested on Twitter, okay, or Discord. I don't care. You don't want to miss this opportunity. I'm not going to do this again for probably a couple months. So Let me know if you have any questions, and other than that, enjoy your evening or morning or afternoon, wherever you are, and peace out.